Today, we're going to unravel the story of one of the most intriguing characters and controversial ones from Norse mythology, Loki. He is really the villain that everyone thinks of, a pure emissary of evil. Or is there a deeper, more complex truth behind his reputation as a cheater? Get ready to dive into the mind of a figure who defies all expectations and breaks paradigms. Because to understand Loki is to understand that good and evil, they often go hand in hand, even in legends. If you've ever wanted to know who the real Loki is, stay with us until the end, as every minute will reveal a piece of this fascinating puzzle. What does he hide behind the prankster mask? Keep watching to find out. To begin to unravel Loki, we need to go back to his roots. Unlike gods like Thor and Odin, Loki was not born an Aesir, the main tribe of gods. He is actually a Jotun, son of Furboti and Leif, frost giants. His entry into Asgard, the realm of the gods, took place through a pact of brotherhood with Odin himself. This double origin, giant by birth but with ties to the gods, already shows us the complexity of their nature. Loki is a frontier being who moves between worlds and loyalties. He is the embodiment of change and unpredictability. But how could someone with such deep ties to Odin become Asgard's #1 enemy? The answer lies in their acts, some useful, others not so much. Loki is famous for his antics, which seem innocent, only not. Like one time he cut Sif's hair, Thor's wife? Yes, it was evil. But to make up for it, he brought magical gifts to the gods, including the hammer, Mjolnir, the gold boar, Gullinbursti, and the Draupnir ring. Or when he turned into a mare to distract a giant builder, giving birth to Odin's 8-legged horse, Sleipnir? These episodes show a controversial Loki. He causes problems, but somehow ends up helping. He is a master of illusion and manipulation, using his wits to get out of the most dangerous situations. It's hard to tell if he acts out of pure malice or an innate desire to stir things up, to test the limits of the universe. But of all his jokes, one of them crossed the line, leading him down a path of no return. An act that had no return and that sealed his fate as the greatest adversary of the gods. The death of Baldur, the god of light and purity, is the watershed in Loki's story. Baldur was invulnerable to everything except mistletoe, a seemingly harmless plant. Loki, jealous of the adoration for Baldur, tricked the blind Hodder into throwing a mistletoe javelin at Baldur, causing his death. This was not a mistake or a joke. It was a deliberate act of cruelty driven by jealousy and resentment. From that moment on, the gods' trust in Loki was irretrievably broken. He was hunted down, captured, and punished in a brutal way, chained with the entrails of his own son and with the venom of a snake falling on his face, causing constant pain. Here, Loki becomes the protagonist of his own tragedy, a prisoner of his own darkness. This punishment is not the end of his story. It is the prelude to the end of everything, because Loki's fate is directly linked to Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse, is a predicted event where the universe will be destroyed and reborn. And who leads the forces of destruction against Asgard? None other than Loki. Freed from his chains, he commands an army of giants and monsters, including his own children, the world serpent Jormungandr and the wolf Fenrir. Their final battle is against Heimdall, the guardian of the Rainbow Bridge, Bifrost. They both kill each other in an epic confrontation, a worthy end for such a complex being. Loki's death at Ragnarok symbolizes not only the end of an era, but also the inevitability of chaos and order in Norse mythology. He is the force that disturbs, that questions, that challenges the status quo, even if it leads to annihilation. So, after all this, how should we see Loki? Is he just the villain, or is there something deeper in his essence that still captivates us and makes us reflect? Loki transcends the pages of ancient mythology, living on in our pop culture. From Marvel Comics to Hollywood movies and video games, Loki is portrayed in many ways, sometimes a charismatic villain, sometimes a tortured anti-hero. This adaptability and popularity only reinforces his complexity. He is not an absolute evil. He is the embodiment of the ambiguity, the duality that exists in all of us. Loki teaches us that not everything is black and white. He is the necessary force so that order does not become stagnation, so that new stories can be written. He is the chaos that inspires creation, the shadow that defines the light. A character that invites us to go beyond the obvious and question our own definitions of good and evil. Loki, the god of mischief, is much more than a simple villain of Norse legends. He is a mirror of human contradictions, a catalyst for events, and an unstoppable force that defies order and predictability. His story reminds us that even in the gods, there are layers of complexity, motivations, and tragedies that shape who they are. If you were as fascinated as we were by this enigmatic figure, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this and activate the bell so you don't miss anything. Leave your comment below. What did you learn most about Loki today? Do you see him more as a villain or a protagonist? We really want to hear from you. And of course, share this video with someone who also loves mythology and that you need to meet the real Loki. See you next time.